Welcome, dear friends, to our exploration of the art of Wu Wei, an ancient concept that teaches us the value of non-action and the power of allowing life to flow naturally. In this first segment, we will delve into the heart of Wu Wei, exploring its origins and understanding its essence. As we proceed, we will uncover how embracing Wu Wei can profoundly transform our lives. Wu Wei originates from Taoist philosophy, which sees the universe as a harmonious whole, where every element is in a dynamic interplay with the others. Wu Wei is often translated as non-action or effortless action, but these translations only partially capture its true spirit. It's not about inactivity, it's about alignment. When you learn to move with the currents of life rather than against them, you discover that life can unfold with ease. Consider water. It flows freely, without resistance, adapting to the shape of whatever it encounters. It doesn't try to be something it's not, it simply is. This is the essence of Wu Wei. It's about finding the natural rhythm of things, including your own nature, and aligning your actions accordingly. When we force, we're like water trying to flow uphill, but when we align, we find the path of least resistance. Now, you might wonder how we can apply Wu Wei in the modern world, where action is often valued above all else. It starts with perception. We must tune into the subtle energies and rhythms of our lives. When you wake up in the morning, do you rush into the day, or do you take a moment to sense its unique rhythm? Wu Wei invites us to listen closely and act when the time is right, not a moment sooner, not a moment later. In practice, Wu Wei is about intuition. It's about trusting that inner voice that guides you towards the right action at the right time. But to hear that voice, you must quiet the noise. In a world filled with constant stimulation, this requires discipline. It means setting aside time for silence, for nature, for simply being. Only then can we discern the movements of the deeper currents of life. Wu Wei also teaches us about trust. We often force things because we're afraid. We're afraid that if we don't push, if we don't control, things will go wrong. But Wu Wei asks us to consider a radical possibility. What if, by not forcing, things will actually work out better? This doesn't mean we abandon responsibility, but rather we act from a place of trust rather than fear. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. Let's explore a practical example. In relationships, we often try to force things. We try to make someone love us, change someone's mind, or fix a problem immediately. But what happens when we apply Wu Wei? We listen, we observe, we wait for the natural ebb and flow of interaction, and we find the right moment to express ourselves. Often, this non-force brings about results more harmonious than any attempt at control could achieve. Now, consider the work environment. Many of us work tirelessly, pushing ourselves to the brink of exhaustion. Wu Wei invites us to consider a different approach. It's about identifying the most impactful actions and executing them with precision and timing. Sometimes, this means stepping back and letting things unfold, which can lead to insights and opportunities that we might have otherwise missed. At this point, allow yourself to wonder, what areas of your life are you forcing unnecessarily? Reflect on this as we move into the second segment, where we will discuss how to recognize the signs that we are out of alignment with Wu Wei and the steps we can take to return to a state of natural flow. Shall we continue our exploration together? Embracing effortlessness. Realigning with Wu Wei for harmonious living. In this second segment, we focus on recognizing when we've strayed from the path of Wu Wei and how to gently guide ourselves back. It's crucial to notice the signs of resistance in our lives, the points where we feel tension, frustration, or exhaustion. These sensations are indicators that we're pushing against the natural current of life. One of the most common signs is a feeling of struggle. When every day feels like a battle, when you are constantly swimming upstream, it's a signal that you may be out of sync with the Tao, the natural way of things. Wu Wei doesn't mean you won't face challenges, but it suggests that the manner in which you engage with those challenges can be one of flow rather than force. Another sign is the presence of recurring obstacles. While some challenges are part of our growth, others are the universe's way of saying we are on the wrong path. If you find yourself running into the same wall over and over, it may be time to pause and reassess. Perhaps there's a different approach that aligns more closely with Wu Wei. To realign with the principle of non-action, start by slowing down. In our high-speed world, slowing down can be revolutionary. It allows us to observe the patterns and rhythms of our lives. When you slow down, you create space to breathe and notice details you typically overlook. This awareness can guide you towards actions that are more in harmony with your environment and your own nature. The practice of meditation is an invaluable tool in this process. It cultivates presence and attunement to the subtleties of our inner and outer worlds. Through meditation, you become more aware of the impulses that drive you to action. You learn to differentiate between the compulsion of the ego and the guidance of intuition. Meditation doesn't have to be long or complicated. Even a few minutes of focused breathing can provide the clarity needed to move forward with grace. In addition to meditation, another practice that nurtures alignment with Wu Wei is observation of nature. Nature operates on principles of Wu Wei effortlessly. The seasons change without effort, animals follow their instincts without doubt, and plants grow towards the sun naturally. By spending time in nature and observing its ways, you can begin to model your own life in a similar fashion, finding the natural rhythm in your actions. When it comes to decision-making, Wu Wei encourages us to let go of the need for immediate answers. Sometimes, the best course of action is to not act, to allow the situation to mature. This is not procrastination, but a strategic pause, allowing the wisdom of timing to inform when and how to act. On a deeper level, embracing Wu Wei involves examining our beliefs about control and success. We're taught from a young age that the more effort we put in, the more we will achieve. While effort is important, Wu Wei invites us to question whether our efforts are truly aligned with our values and the natural course of our lives. Is our striving coming from a place of inner truth, or is it driven by external pressures and expectations? Now, let's turn our attention to emotions. Our emotions are powerful indicators of our alignment with Wu Wei. When we feel joy and contentment, it's often a sign that we're in the flow of life. When we're gripped by negative emotions, it may be an indication that we're resisting what is. By paying attention to our emotional state, we can discern whether our actions are in harmony with the Tao or whether we need to adjust our approach. In the realm of personal growth, Wu Wei doesn't imply passivity. On the contrary, it encourages dynamic engagement with the process of becoming. It's about growing at the pace that's right for you, guided by an inner knowing rather than societal expectations. As we integrate these insights, we can begin to experience a sense of ease and effectiveness in our actions. Life becomes less about struggle and more about experiencing the unfolding of each moment with curiosity and openness. Now, as you absorb these reflections, consider the following. How might your life change if you embrace the wisdom of Wu Wei more fully? Allow this question to simmer in your consciousness as we prepare to transition to the third segment, where we will explore the relationship between Wu Wei and the concept of being in the zone, a state of optimal performance and flow. Shall we proceed with this journey of discovery? The Zen of Peak Performance, mastering Wu Wei in the art of being in the zone. Being in the zone epitomizes a state of flow where actions are effortless and effective, exemplifying the Taoist concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action. This state is marked by a seamless alignment of intention and action, characterized by a mind devoid of doubt and a body free of tension, leading to complete immersion in the present task. Time distorts, and actions harmonize with the situation. To achieve this state, releasing the fear of failure is crucial, for fear begets tension, which disrupts flow. Focusing on present actions rather than obsessing over outcomes allows for full engagement in the process and paves the way for peak performance. Goals should guide, not dominate our minds. Trusting that results will ensue from dedicated action is part of this philosophy. Preparation through skill mastery is essential for accessing the zone. However, practice should embody Wu Wei's spirit, emphasizing mindful refinement over mere repetition. Consider a musician in the zone who, through years of practice, responds intuitively to the melody, letting the music flow without conscious direction. Wu Wei is the synthesis of discipline and surrender. The former builds skill, the latter releases it into effortless performance. Being in the zone transcends professions. The principles remain constant across activities like writing, coding, or teaching. Cultivating this state involves creating a conducive environment, setting clear intentions, and fully engaging in the activity. The enjoyment derived from being in the zone motivates and reinforces flow, inducing behaviors. Yet, Wu Wei's paradox is that the more we pursue the zone, the more it eludes us. It is through a balance of effort and relaxation, caring and indifference, that the zone becomes accessible. Being in the zone is transient, not permanent, but we can forge conditions for its frequent emergence through a cycle of action and rest. Passion, while a driving force, must align with Wu Wei to avoid burnout and maintain balance. Passion, when tempered with wisdom, becomes a powerful force. Reflecting on our passions, we should consider how to engage with them in harmony with Wu Wei and the natural rhythms of life. In conclusion, the essence of peak performance and personal fulfillment may not lie in striving harder, but in aligning with Wu Wei's principle of effortless action. As we move to the final segment of our exploration, we ponder how integrating Wu Wei into daily life can lead to harmony, setting the stage for the last phase of our journey. As we conclude this third segment, we might ask ourselves, what if the secret to peak performance and personal fulfillment lies not in pushing harder, but in aligning more closely with the effortless action that is Wu Wei? With this thought, let us prepare to move into the final segment of our exploration, where we will discuss how to integrate the principles of Wu Wei into our daily lives and how it can lead to a more harmonious existence. Shall we embrace this last leg of our journey? Harmonious existence through Wu Wei. The art of living effortlessly in balance with the Tao. In this final segment, we turn our attention to integrating the principles of Wu Wei into our daily lives, creating a harmonious existence that resonates with the natural order of things. The art of Wu Wei is not just a philosophy to be understood, it is a way of life to be lived. The first step in this integration is to cultivate presence. Presence is the gateway to Wu Wei because it anchors us in the here and now, the only place where we can truly align with life. When we are present, we are attuned to the subtle cues that guide our actions, and we can respond with agility and grace. To cultivate presence, we can engage in practices like mindfulness, where we bring our full attention to whatever we are doing. Whether we are eating, walking, or listening to someone, we can do so with complete awareness. This practice of mindfulness strengthens our ability to remain present and reduces the tendency to act on autopilot. Another key aspect of integrating Wu Wei is to let go of rigid expectations. Life is inherently unpredictable, and clinging to specific outcomes can lead to frustration and disappointment. Instead, Wu Wei teaches us to hold our plans lightly, to be flexible and adaptable. When we do this, we open ourselves to a range of possibilities and allow life to unfold in its own mysterious ways. We can also practice Wu Wei by simplifying our lives. In a culture that often equates busyness with importance, it can be countercultural to do less. Yet doing less allows us to do what we do with more quality, attention, and love. Simplification is about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the rest. In our interactions with others, Wu Wei can manifest as a compassionate allowance for others to be as they are. Instead of trying to control or change the people around us, we can practice acceptance and understanding. This creates space for genuine relationships to flourish, where each person is honored for their unique expression.